Hey, look, we're now on the weekly recording for the general meeting. Huzzah! Welcome, everyone. Greetings. It is the most powerful power that we have here to switch recordings. It's a click of a button, but it's still there. Anyways, um, things have been progressing pretty heavily on my side of things, making some good progress. A lot of what I've been doing at work, because I took on 2 extra shifts, so I had less time available to work on some stuff that I only work on at home. Sneezing. But I also covered a whole bunch of things I had in server. I was working on some of those research requests that have been popping up. I still have some more I need to do, but progression has been happening. Um, One thing that was noted in the downtime channel, which I think should be noted for everyone going forward, this is especially notable for Legacy and the staff team that you help handle, especially those who are running downtime activities. Um, if an activity has a success or fail for information to be provided, such as research and gather information, feel free to roll for it as soon as it is dropped. So as soon as we see it, feel free to give a roll, because if it fails, we can just let them know right then and there. If it succeeds, then we can work on providing the info for it. And just say, hey, this was successful, send it up to the team so they know to gather it. Otherwise, that should help speed things up, help people not be in limbo for as long. I'm not sure why we didn't think about this earlier, but hey, it was suggested. It's a thing. But outside of that, this week I might be somewhat busy again, but the equipment guide update is making some good progress. I've also put some of the workload that I've been having on it onto economy teams so they can start helping out as well, help get it out sooner. I don't have too much longer left to do, but when I say maybe 1 or 2 weeks, I mean 1 or 2 weeks of full work, not hey, in 2 weeks it'll be done. So a total of 7 to 14 days of me working on it back to back is what I'm saying when I say that. Overall, though, progress is being made. If I can have a solid couple days of just powering and working on it, I could probably finish it in a week at this point. So next Sunday. But I know I'm gonna have days this week that I'm gonna be very busy. So I don't think it'll be out by next Sunday. But if I do have the free time to do this, I'm that close. Yeah, main thing right now is trying to simplify crafting and whatnot and what. So yeah, both simplifying it and making enchanting fleshed out enough, and adjusting some of the values in enchanting, because there are some features that need to be adjusted. Which, quick thing for anyone who does crafting requests, also put this in patch notes because it needs to be hotfixed. Any set score enchantments, so I'm setting my Christmas score to say 12. Any ones of those have their rarity increased by 2 tiers. So if they're normally fine tier, they're now superior tier, I believe. Something like that. Maybe it's 1 tier. What did we decide on, economy team? So, 1 or 2 now. I'm second guessing myself now. 1 tier, okay. Increased by 1 tier. So if it was fine, it's now excellent. And it is of the same step. So if it were, say, major uncommon, it would be major rare going forward. that is a hotfix that needs to be added. Um, outside of that, the updates and whatnot, and the major stuff that was going on with the region meeting that we just had. Um, let's see here. Today, my Sunday game, I believe, is canceled for the session, just because we're missing some players. So I'm gonna be taking this day to probably finish up some other side stuff that needs to be finished, and then work on the equipment guide probably tomorrow. So if there's anything that absolutely needs my attention, I am around today, so feel free to send it my way. I'm probably gonna be working on getting out the Ashen update that I need to work on that Kate sent my way, as well as the spells that need to be added to World Anvil and some other small things like that. And if I have finished quick like, I'll also probably be releasing, not releasing, working on the equipment guide today as well, but depends on how quick I can get things finished. Yeah. Yeah, no, that is the hotfix that needs to be added. Also, I know that there was a pretty big discussion on keeping things standardized from 8, 10, and 12 in terms of hours. The standard is 8. We do have exceptions to the standard, being that if you're a master crafter, it's now 12, which is the specificity rule, and travel being 10 as well. If you want to debate this, I'm open to debate. The fact that we are going from 8 to 10 to 12 does make the values a little finicky, but I don't know where I was going with that. If we need to adjust, we can adjust, but yeah. It does, yeah. Yeah. The intention for the 10 hours of travel was just for simple maths. People, I'm trying to simplify a lot of our systems, so if something can be done to make it easier to use, easier to understand, um, feel free to suggest changes. I'm going to be going through equipment crafting section from magical crafting as well, probably today or tomorrow, and start simplifying that at this point. So right now I've just been adding stuff, and I'm at this point trying to remake systems. So fortunately, those are really easy to do. I just need to change values. Yeah, that is pretty much what I have for my stuff. So for legacies topics of discussion, um, RP event reward increases, kind of reward items, gold, minor influence. That's all a okay. Rewarding of experience. They are intended to be a pathway for civilians to gain experience outside of their normal downtime. So as long as Sky says they have something to them that is life changing, like a milestone, or it is difficult with, say, like there's a skill challenge involved that could have some stuff to it, or maybe there is like some diplomatic RP event involved. As long as there's something to it and not just, oh, we're having a game of chance, um, then yeah, they can reward experience as well, I'd say.
I would like to bring up that I'm a little hesitant to allow experience for that. Only for the fact that we are very limited on staff.
Yes.
And having an RP event ran in one specific area that gives XP, you'll have the other people complaining, well, why don't we get it? So I feel if we do allow XP, then we have to do and or plan RP events for all 4 areas during the same period. in order to make sure everyone has a chance to do it.
That is fair. One thing we could do is we could also limit, since experience for RP events is intended to be a civilian pathway experience gain. We could make it an experience civvy only, unless otherwise noted.
That could work. I'm just more worried about the overall general consensus because of lack of staff. It is very hard to say, okay, well, now I'm going to go to a specific area because I know they have active members of staff that are going to run RP events and
Yeah,
I can get XP there. And that's ideally what I'd like to avoid in general, is that feeling of, well, why can't I get it? And yeah, of course, that's going to happen in any system. But I think if at least we talk about that, we understand the risks of that
yeah,
before we do something like that, I think that that would be beneficial.
that could work. Yeah, as long as if we do start running XP based events, we start spreading the love, making sure everyone can get the chance, then yeah, I think it can work out.
I mean, yeah, I do agree, Legacy, that it is this kind of like missions, but I guess the feeling is that personally, from looking just from like the outside, I kind of want to look at it from all angles, especially for something like an XP game, because there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of people to have the feeling of being left behind, which
Yeah,
isn't necessarily a good one to have.
yeah. The big thing, which I Earlobe's concern is definitely valid, um, is unlike missions, wherein if you are, say, in Doladur and there's a mission in Arlogus, you can just pop there with your guild sigil for your mission. RP events, if you're not in Arlogus at the time of that RP event popping up, you just can't go unless there's some wibbly wobbly stuff that we do. So perhaps guild sigils could allow for teleportation to RP events that are experience gain. That could be a route that we can go for. Just pop you back at the end of it. But otherwise, um, that is a concern where people, if there's an RP event going on, that they wouldn't just be able to apply for it because hey, it's not their region. If it's like an experienced one, so I would say every region needs to have one. But if we do have guild sigil popping players to them, that could also be a way for players to start interacting with other regions more and start being like, oh, this region is interesting.
Yeah, I'd be fine with a system like that as long as it's only used for like the XP gain ones,
Yeah.
or at least we just give it some thought first before we push it out, kind of thing.
Overall,
So
though,
the guild sigil, like I've discussed this before, it's not a bad idea. The issue is that it's currently very difficult. I mean, we did get the new RP events um, tag, which helps out things because it was that, hey, how are they supposed to attend something in Argolis if they don't have the tag for it?
yeah,
And I think it's fine to do XP, but yes, it does have to be something that's worthy of getting XP.
yeah. Ultimately, such things I'll leave in your hands, Duke, since your RP events head and whatnot. Um, but if you want there to be a system for like guild sigil transportation or bonus experience for civilians or anything like that, um, just because RP events are meant to be their version of missions, essentially.
Yeah.
Uh, Feel free to give suggestions and whatnot.
Yeah. Guild Hall is where I suggested that, hey, if you want to do an RP event that's run by the guild, that would be a good place to do it because you could just open up a thread for it.
It's true. And we can make
Well,
the chat in that thread not slowed.
Mhm.
they'll people also have to realize that if we do use the sigil to go to RP events that it functions the same way it does for missions. Once it's over, you're out.
Mhm.
You're back in your spot. You cannot linger. This is not a get out of jail free card. You are back in your spot.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
It is a warp back like missions. All right. Yeah, if a XP based reach RP event does have limited slots, 100% do what Sky says. We're limited to try to prioritize those who have not been on missions and whatnot. If it's a civilian based thing, do what you do. But if it's like allow for anyone and it's adventurers haven't been able to get on missions in that area, yeah, give them priority. And give them priority regardless, but yeah. All right. If we can get a write up for this though right now, that'd be most appreciated. Otherwise, is there anything anyone else on this topic would like to discuss? Bring up, perhaps, as I see people typing. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I figured a decent amount of staff might still have that mindset. It's a hard one to break out of. Um, but yeah, just overall reclarification, so it's noted. Civies are considered to be full players. They're not considered NPCs.
Another thing that we do need to think about as well is that we don't need to give XP for every RP event, and we aren't
Yes.
telling players if we're giving XP for an
Exactly.
RP event.
Yes, do make
Exactly.
sure that's noted.
Like, we don't need a thing where people are like, well, is this giving EXP? If it's not, I don't want to go. Like,
Mhm.
Exactly.
you don't know what it's going to give, and you're never going to know what it's give because you are not privy to that information.
Yep. Yeah.
This is one of those things where the player does not need to know what it entails. Just enjoy the content.
Exactly. Enjoy the content, and if you happen to experience, that's just a happy bonus.
What? Yeah, but like that's just the layman terms way of saying it. Legacy.
Yeah.
We can have a pit fighting RP event if you want.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
That's just a battle royale, and I know you want a battle royale because you want more organs and fingers.
Hey, there'll be a lot of losers this time.
Oh my god! No, you can't have more fingers.
Yeah. I mean, with all the various options for people to get experience, I don't really see RP event experience gains being as I don't really know the right word for it, but we're gonna go with a derisive, contested. I don't really know the word for it, but we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with a needed, or as Phoenix listed out with their example quote that might have occurred, which has occurred in the past. Um, I don't think it's going to be as common for such things, but I'm sure it'll still happen. So, yeah, best just keep that info hidden. Don't need to let them know the rewards until they are given.
I mean, it's the same reason we don't tell mission rewards.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
Speaking of that, I need to go
you
boost the values. I forgot to do that last night. And Scrolling up. I'm just gonna slap this value down real quick.
I'll update the post and training when you know.
For the next topic that you posted, Legacy, we've already talked about that a while ago, and it was supposed to be, or is already going to be changed, so that way we don't have negative influence. It's just a positive influence with a negative faction, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything should be
But-
positive from now
Yeah,
on.
you're right. We never
Okay.
did patch it in though. That's right.
Wait. Are you saying that I can't pull a Castlevania 2 and tell them that they've been cursed for the night? They tend to get out of town.
Mm.
Are you? Unbelievable! I can't believe I
Gotcha.
can't pull a Castlevania 2. It's a terrible night to have a curse.
Yeah, no, that's good Legacy. I wasn't sure what the intent behind it was, but I did remember that we had that discussion.
So how does owning a dungeon work? Because you need negative influence in order to buy one.
Yeah, so you'll just need positive influence with a hostile faction of that region.
Nice.
Which also includes criminal factions. They're not quote unquote hostile, but they are criminal. So if we're gonna say to the new listing on the structure page, it'll say positive influence within a hostile or illegal faction within a region. Yeah. All right. I'm not going to adjust too much the other tiers. I'm just going to do the rewards for tiers 1 and 2 just to see how those play out, because I think the higher tiers are still pretty good on their gold gains. But yeah, just in case.
We can get around to changing them. We actually get the tier 3.
It's true. All right.
If we don't have dead players by then.
So wealth rewards. So the guaranteed. This is what they should be getting at the completion of a mission. Changed from. I'll just do type B. So it's that. Rewards. I'm post typing that, so it's clean and visible. Rewards. All right. There you go. Those are the adjustments. First one, I did not do the dotted lines for the ease of reading. There you go. So those should be the new reward values. Provide spicy as appropriate.
No, you technically they don't get any rewards for your training mission. It's just a simulated thing.
All right. So for returning characters downtime, my thought is, if they have already spent downtime on the character who is to be retired, so they can replace it with the person who is coming back for retirement. Any downtime that they have spent is not given to the new character. So consider downtime a player drop, not a character drop.
Yeah, you get so like civilians get 1 XP for doing training games. That was the reward that we give.
Yep.
But only civilians, not players.
Yeah. The main reason why it is a
Adventures.
downtime is not transferred fully, if it's been spent, it's on the other character, is so people don't gamify it where they spend all the downtime, retire, bring the new character in, spend all the downtime, and if they have like 3 people retired, like 3 past characters, we don't want them to gamify it. So it's a player downtime. The downtime is given to the player, not to the character, to spend as they see fit.
Their reward is they get to bring back the character. That's actually a pretty big boon. That, well, if they can bring it back, not if you're a pile of dust, you're not coming back.
Yeah, no, if they're dead, then that's gonna be its own thing. Does that include them getting the same lifestyle as the previous character? If they come in, and we already have the listings for coming back with the upkeep phase to avoid skipping out on upkeep, I believe we already have rules listed for that on the Hatchworks. But their lifestyle choice they can set up right then and there. So they'll just have to list it out in player trading or player update as they happen past.
You can already play as a pile of dust race. You can be in Warforged.
It's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, it is. You can literally be a pile of dust. Someday, I'm gonna play a step ladder so people can step.
All right.
I believe persistent damage follows the what's it called? Order of operations, correct?
Yeah.
Like if you heal, the heal goes first, then the damage, then the effect afterwards
Yep.
follows, type deal.
Yeah. We already have rulings on persistent damages and when it occurs. But just so it's clear, it is starve turn. It is before most everything else. However, healing does occur first. So if they have fast healing and bleed, fast healing would just get rid of the bleed. Unless the bleed is preventing them from fast healing or preventing them from, being cured from fast healing. There's some exceptions to the rules, but generally it is start turn healing effects, start turn damage effects, other start turn stuff. Which I believe is already listed on our start turn rule set that we have. But having the persistent damage rules listed out for purposes of, hey, both the flame condition and bleeding condition are the same thing. Essentially, they fall under the same persistent damage effect rules. That's fine.
And throw it up in the etc. document as well, or page. So that's all on there as well.
It's true. All right, pet loyalty.
Most of it looks right. The only thing that I had that I remember different was this was a guideline, so you could choose to go by health or using the point system. The base point system is there wasn't a base score. It was just their the character level plus their animal handling bonus, because their animal handling bonus will scale if they are proficient in it, and it will scale with your proficiency bonus, and it also scales with your level. So the higher level you are, theoretically, the pet will scale with you. Health looks right. Basically, the intent of it is to prevent massive overbloating of combats through using of pets, companions, summons, etc. The intent of the system when I wrote it was to include all of those into it. So it includes summons, companions, pets, etc. The reason I wrote it that way is because if we decided that it's easier to exclude it after than it is to say, hey, we should include it in it. So it's a lot easier to say, okay, we're going to exclude X from the system, which is completely okay. But if we're going to add it in, it could be difficult later.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it was kind of more loosely wrote around a value that makes it a lot easier to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, everything does look right. I think last time we talked about it, we had it at half loyalty is when you would have issues with a pet and would need to meet certain values in order to maintain its control. Otherwise, it would default to a default behavior, which every pet would basically need to have, is a default behavior. Other than that, I think everything else looks right.
Yeah. All right. Get that slapped down on the pets document, and then we can put the document on World Anvil. Which, by the way, the rule set is there. If you're like an editor or whatnot on World Anvil, feel free to just make the page and put it on the rule set there. Though I understand it with it being World Anvil, you might not want to do that because it is a bitch to work on stuff on World Anvil sometimes, most of the time. Otherwise, I'll plop it down once those small additions need to be, once those small additions are added, and then yeah.
And then the only other thing that I probably will be changing with pets, or that I'm looking at too, is I've discussed it before, but I haven't had time to go through it, is having an actual threshold to use a combat-oriented pet. So there are a bunch of tricks that you can train pets to do, like fetch, stuff like that, and that's completely fine. I would like those to remain as like a passive ability, so you don't need to reach it, but you still need someone to train it at that level. Whereas for combat, I feel that you need to absolutely like have that passive score in order to use that in combat.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be going through it, and I'll be separating them into combat and non-combat oriented ones.
Feel free. Yeah, feel free to give adjustments and send that my way, and we can get on World Anvil when it's got a good old look over in that case. Also, for your question, Sky, currently you can only control one pet at a time. The feat, which I don't remember the name of it, Animal Handler, I'm looking at it right now, allows you to control more than one, but that is not currently released. As for them being attunement, standard pets, no. Advanced pets, yes.
Yeah, advanced pets do require an attunement slot.
Yeah. And advanced pets cover things like you have a golem, as an example, or you have like this weird undead that's bound to you that, is more potent than just a zombie. So there's some weird stuff going on.
If it's a flying spider, it's probably not an advanced pet, but you'd have to actually look. So most beasts are classified as just standard pets. The actual advanced feature is usually attached to creatures that have a high CR rating and or sentience.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if it's advanced, it's just like a not natural pet. So if you want a mimic, a mimic is a not natural thing to train. It's possible, but I'm sure the DC is going to be like 38, depending on what you have. But which is also something that I wanted to look at as we're going through some DC stuff. But I do have a Python script for taming DCs, so I can just plug in numbers and it spits it out because I
Nice.
prefer coding that. So
Fair. That is fair.
You can't just speak sacrilege like that, earlobe, and walk away.
yes, I'm using Python.
That's
It
not
is
rude.
it is used as the primary cybersecurity language besides command line and bash. Yes, I'm using Python.
Sacrilege. Unbelievable.
As for, see, I think there's another question from Moth. Mindless pets. Mindless is a specific trait that's given, and if there's something specific for that, I can't remember what it is. Offhand, but I'll take a look into that. But I know there's something specific for mindless stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
But another big boon too, just to continue that, is no one likes to see a pet necessarily die. So loyalty is a way for us as GMs to say, hey, your pet is still useful, but we don't want to kill it.
Essentially, avoiding what I do to my Sunday group,
Yes.
which is kill their pets. Well, I
Or your
mean,
pie.
look, man, you bring in like a ferret into a zone filled with fireball. What do you expect to happen to the ferret?
Oh, every time Sack brings his pet onto the field, I just put like a pile of food somewhere, and that's where Seymour is. Seymour does not ever join combat.
Yeah. So the loyalty system will help with the feeling of, oh, my pet just got fireballed into oblivion.
Yeah.
It might still happen, but it will help with that fact.
Yeah, because I that's why. So loyalty itself is a system too. Like, it's not a. I don't want people to think it's like a strict thing. It is GM dependent. And I would prefer to use the point system for not necessarily a higher HP pet, but you can use a mixture of both as well.
Mm-hmm.
To say like, okay, points. Oh, I see the pet's at half HP. Okay, now it's going to start rebelling since it's at half HP instead of getting full points. So it's an easier way for us to realistically track what is happening inside a animal's consciousness.
Yeah. The half health does, or loyalty does essentially mean they only have half their available hit points. But that's what animal handling is skills for. And the animal handling feat itself will also play into that.
Yes. Basically, outside of like Beastmaster and the Artificer class, we know that people love pets and we don't want to see them killed. So this is a middle ground to allow for your pet not to die.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's ways to increase it. And as terms of upgrading pets, so like say you have a crocodile and you want to make it like a fancy crocodile that has a top hat and has +2 to strength for some reason. Training rules do exist. If someone wants to make a pet progression system via taming rules, feel free. But right now, there's no current system to make, say, a crocodile become like a advanced crocodile. You can use training rules to get feats and stuff, but that's the current limitations for pets. Because unlike animal companions, the like, they don't actually have a progression system. They're just there to chill and be adorable, or be imposing. All right. Next thing on the docket is mail, which has been posted for ease of access by Legacy, also linked by Sky to the channel it was posted in. So, people's thoughts on the system above. Any suggestions, thoughts, opinions, or the like? I gave mine already in tech team, I believe, but I will provide more insight as well.
I think it should be in Comic Sans only
True.
because this is Magic, and if you ever like seen a Wizard's Handbook, it scribbles.
Yeah, the hireling system will allow people to do stuff like that. Hawks as well will allow people. That Hawks will essentially function like hirelings. You just don't have to pay them. Once the hireling rules come out, which are in the equipment guide update I'm working on, then yeah.
But
Hawks.
what if I pay my hawk?
If you pay your hawk, then your hawk suddenly has coin. It might be weighed down by said coin, but it's been paid. Normally, they accept payment in mice and other
Nice.
food.
Will it evolve?
Unless it's some form of weird wibbly wobbly mutation creature, probably not.
Damn it! I need to blight my hawk.
Well, putting Bill back in the grave.
Anything that is like a pet that you might want to use for like message delivery, so like carrier pigeons and the like, or sending ravens out, as is another fantasy common trope.
Would it be similar to the people that like do pigeons with like the letter in the foot?
Yeah, no,
Thing?
that is outright just a Puron thing that happens, and that happened in medieval times, is having carrier pigeons.
Yeah.
So that is a thing. It's just being worked on via the hireling rules, except for you don't pay them. Yeah, it does mean that the main reason why the rules need to be added first before these can function,
Right,
is because I mean, actually, we can probably just have pets like carrier pigeons, falcons to do it, just as would be, but just limit them how much they can do it per phase.
Yeah.
Until
And
I get the
plan for
hireling rules
that-
out.
Yeah, and the other plan for
I-
that was to also have that as a passive trick that you could have, or
Yeah.
you have to teach them to.
Yeah, it would need to be a trick based.
I believe all mail has the same rolling percent as being on the road.
Cool. Then I don't need that.
Uh,
Need to make it fancier for the birds already. Then. Yeah. The only thing is if the mail is thwarted by a random encounter, then that would be a reason for it. But that's also why, as a player, you could hire a guard to guard the delivery of your mail, which is where guard NPCs and civilians and hirelings and the like come in. Also, stores and other buildings that you guys might own as structures. I believe Sky's image is their character Riku. They had commissioned the art for.
Correct. With the claw they got from my mission.
Yeah. I think if you want to adjust the write up real quick to just list that pets, if they have the messenger trick, can deliver mail for free, but are limited to would you say 1 delivery per 5 or 1 delivery per 10 downtime granted? Or we can also tie it to proficiency based. Yeah, it could be like proficiency per 10 downtime granted. So if you have proficiency 2, you can do it twice per 10. That could work. Essentially the same as 5 per. I would ask Wara because they do most of the coding that we do, or what coding language we use. I would tell you, but I don't honestly know because I don't do bot stuff myself. I never touched bots.
Nice. Final Fantasy 14.
Pets, as in mail deliverers per the mail system the Sky wrote up. I don't know if they're in the Frozen Goggles. I don't believe they're in the call. But yeah, mail system. Outside of that, once the hireling system is finished, then people can just hire people to do mail. But for now, that is an option for them. Per downtime period instead of per downtime drop. Okay, that works too. Makes it simpler. And then they can obviously just pay and have their bird do it themselves for future uses or the like if they want. For flavor. Yeah. That'll work. Well, Sky is suggesting just pets proficiency per downtime drop. My first suggestion was downtime per 10 downtime. But their suggestion just proficiency per period. All right. Anything else anyone would like to bring up? Things to note down before we go over the suggestion box.
Oh shit, there's actually one other thing I wanted to ask quick.
Yeah.
So it was brought up a long time ago, and the thought came back into my head. I was also thinking of including within pets the possibility of having plant-based pets, and instead of using animal handling, using nature. Would that be Would that be too abusable, or because they both use intelligence, if I remember right?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, plants are already listed as an option for pets. So if you want to allow plants to specifically be used in nature instead of animal handling, that's fine. They're both
Okay.
in-based, I believe. So
Is animal handling wisdom?
Animal handling is wisdom.
no. Well, then you make a nature
Okay.
wisdom based for animal for pet training. Then in that case,
Yeah, I can do that.
easy clap.
Now, when are we gonna be able to make magical beasts? When can I make my chimera pet?
They're already an option.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah, but I want to
chimeras.
make one.
Oh, if you want to make a chimera, I would suggest doing some research on that.
I want to do what the vampires are doing, dog.
For
to be fair, we have
golems, it
grafting
depends.
rules.
Exactly.
You're just not allowed those grafting.
Let me graft werewolves together.
Oh my god, no.
Golems can use animal handling or arcana.
I say we just in the guide just give a listing for the different monster types and say here's the options that you can use.
Yeah, because some specific ones will probably have a small use. Like it doesn't, for some that are constructs, it does make more sense to have arcana attached to it.
Yeah,
but
because you're controlling
sometimes
their
it
control
doesn't.
rod.
Yeah, so it's more of a case by case. So ideally, I'll go through and look at all the creature types and list. A majority of them will be animal handling or nature, but there will be some very rare ones that will use a separate skill, and I'll make sure to note those.
Yeah. Players do not have a
Yes.
tame DC.
Also, they are advanced. Yes.
Nice.
You know exactly what he's asking. Don't fucking answer him.
We totally didn't go through this as a test when I was
Oh
doing the
my God.
Python script with other people to see what taming each other would be.
This is why we turned down all of Duke's proposals.
Hey, plant fats were my proposal.
Let's get an extra.
All right, calm down. Where's a fucking bonk emote so we can be over with this?
I just got 5 ads already.
Yeah, so influence is one of those systems that is very much vague because there's so many different options. To have everything that you can spend it on written down is like asking us to write down a million different options. And I don't mean metaphorically or anything like that. I mean like literally this will be like a million options you can spend it on. If there's anything that's like this is gonna be a common use, we'll just add on a world anvil for the influence section of it, like we've done already in the past. But there's not like a here's everything you can do with it list. It's more of a here's some guidelines that can happen. Prestige, on the other hand, that list is pretty all encompassing. It might add new stuff in the future, but those are the list of hey, this is what you can spend it on. And most of the time, people will probably want to keep their prestige rather than spend it because prestige classes and similar such features that will be based on prestige require a prestige modifier to be more beneficial than otherwise. So, you spend your prestige does go down. Um, bu- 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 the thing we were doing was the thing that was happening. What was the thing going up to? Yes, the suggestion box. What is notable on the suggestion box? Things to discuss. No, there's a new one. I did not see this one. Bring engineers' tools and other miscellaneous toolkits. I have not read this one, so I cannot go on to it because it's literally popped up 4 minutes ago. So that's going to have to wait till next time. I've read a decent bit of Performing Sacred Rites. The suggestion there. For that one, I'll probably be adjusting the numbers as they have suggested, but if there's any other things people would like to add for doing that time specifically, or if there's something that Sack as Divinity Head you'd like to adjust, so maybe like some stuff to gain like piety, maybe. Feel free to give suggestions, give me some options. I'm good to slap some stuff down. Though obviously we don't have piety just yet, so that's not really going to be required until those systems are in place. Though example piety is on Andrea's page, I believe, and a few other deities already. But that one's essentially being worked on. It's in the works. Rebalance upkeep boons and drawbacks. We've already done this for the most part. I feel like, as I've stated in the past, this one is currently it will be rebalanced again, I believe. But we're waiting till the next downtime drop to do so. Just so people, are good to go. Anything else I'm missing that needs to be discussed over? I don't think so. I think that was all covered. Back to chat, so I can read what people have been saying. Let's see here, scrolling down in chat so we can see what people have said since I was looking at not chat. Yeah, I mean, using influence for things like getting someone out of an execution could work. You just need to have to spend a lot of it and actually have the pull.
Yeah, I had no pull.
Yeah, that was
I
the
pulled
issue.
no maidens. Wait, can I use influence for maidens?
I swear to God. I'm not gonna let him cook. No.
For buying, they're considered magical consumables, but what are they for selling? Do I not have them listed on the selling rules?
No. Last time you said that there were materials, but they are not materials for buying. Because currently they are considered materials for selling, but magical items or magical consumables for buying them.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll just copy over the system in place for scrolls, potions, and reagents to mercantilism. It seems like it's not there.
So for selling, they will also be considered magical consumables.
Yeah.
Right.
Apparently, I'm a banana and forgot to copy pasta. If downtime would grant piety, I would say it would be capped at how much you can grant. But yeah, it is fair. All right. Another thing it could potentially do is if someone needs atonement, one could do performing sacred rites as a way to progress their atonement. That could be an option that we add to the system. Yeah. Anyways, is there anything in the suggestion form post? Because I don't actually have access to that, or if I do, I don't know where it's located. Gotcha. Okay. Economy stuff going on in that case. Cool. In that case, is there anything anyone else would like to discuss, to bring up, to note down?
We have let's see, 3 or 4 part-time GMs as of now that are will have soon
Nice.
ish.
Very nice.
We have a couple bit people more for staff on the training side who will be joining for which it seems we get a lot more, at least 3 more RP events. So that's more people to run RP events, given our current topic with regional stuff. And a few for general staff, so that's more people for possible DDTs.
Nice. Very nice.
And one to throw a pie, which will
Well, if they need events to run, fortunately, we did just have a pretty lengthy regional discussion. So, hey, look, they have options. We can throw their way. Yeah, yeah. I might have some suggestions of my own as well for a region for RP events for those in training. Drop some for them as well. But with all that said, seems like we are at the end here, closing things out pretty quickly. Since we have had people join since I last posted this. Mission rewards, if you're a dungeon master, part-time, full-time, whatnot, rewards have been adjusted. Make sure to check the mission structures of the Living World document to see what that says, see what those are about. My voice is giving out on me, apparently. Yeah. And check with the region if you're doing anything in regions, because region meeting has occurred and some spicy stuff has been discussed. There might be some prestige missions coming forward. There might be some RFP events being needed. Some major missions starting to kick things off again. So look forward to that. Yeah. But with all that said, before I close things out, is there anything anyone else would like to bring up? Last call. All right. Good stuff indeed. Appreciate everyone showing up, all the help you've been providing, all that good stuff. Waiting. Good to hear about mod stuff. For those that we have released, which would be Skysworn, the 2 Brusian factions, and I don't remember the name of this one. Nocturnal Dawn. These ones are full-on, officially released. All benefits are active. We are steadily converting the other factions as well to being officially released. Yeah. With the discussion that we were having in the region chat, the the Templar Artilleria and the Second Mercenary Company, these factions are likely going to get updated really quickly because they're going to become active probably fairly recently and missions being dropped for them. So they're a bit more on my priority list for updating. Yeah. And likewise, we're going to be working on some generic, non-super limited factions to join as well as some evil factions to join. So people can see at least generally what evils can be around, so they don't have to worry about researching for some of them. Obviously, the researching is still going to be required for some of the more spicier ones, but my intention to have at least one evil faction in every region written out. So, I know someone's working on joining the assassins within our Logos. That would have been a research faction. Most assassin guilds are actually going to be research factions just because of their nature. But,
Can the cultist of Dolotor show you their new god, Cthulhu, for evil faction?
I mean, hey, if you want to make a faction dedicated to the villain that you are running, feel free. Or, to yourself as a DM. I'd be a little confused, but...
Cult of Bob?
Cult of Bob?
Bob is not dead, I swear to fucking God.
We have to bring him back to life.
See, the real Chad move right now is to make the Cult of the Moss. Bring that back.
Yeah.
I'm totally joking, or am I? Anyways, all that said, one last call, just because there was things that popped up. Anything anyone else would like to bring up? Excellent, most appreciated. Besides the hot fixes and the stuff we discussed in region meeting, and the reward increases, I'd probably just add in the factions being alive if you haven't already done that already. But besides that, no. I would kick them in now, yeah. Oh, the economical effects are scrolled up, but we already posted them above, so just scroll up. Just the rules written out so they know what their parameters are, which I believe you already sent them. But any of the adjustments we discussed in this meeting, adjust your write-up for Sky, and then it should be good to go. Unless they have any requests, which case they can, ask as necessary. No, I would drop that stuff right now. Yeah. Things are getting a little too spicy. A little too.
Well, some of those are kind of in effect now due to the issues, but
Yes. So all the things we've discussed region wise for those effects should be dropping with this update. As in today or tomorrow's update that we drop. I don't believe there was, but we've discussed a lot of things today, so I might have been wrong. Most of it was just saying, "Hey, birds can do it." If the downtime has been processed, now no. If it has not yet been processed and has been posted, recently, then yes. Yeah, shouldn't affect too many people. But yeah. All right. Anything anyone else would like to bring up? Technically, it is upgradable. That is a thing. It also is something that people can rank up in. Which is why people will see on the page you have Chapter Master as a rank. And then there's like the fourth rank, which I don't remember the name of. So technically, yes, it is an upgradable faction. It is something that people can rank up in. Doing so, we don't have any current means for them to do so easily. But if you want to think about options, feel free. Because I have no intention on providing spicy upgrades anytime soon, just because it is more of a meta faction than a real faction. But it is a real faction in all other senses. So it is upgradable, can be done. So if people want to pursue that, feel free to look into spending downtime towards it or whatnot to look into how to do stuff. Yeah. Anyways, that's about where we have. And seeing what chat says. If it's not been processed and it's been posted and it's been impacted by the economical effects, I would say, yeah, we can let them cancel it. Erring on player favorability and all that. So. Well, if a submission has already been completed, it's good. It's good to go. If it's not yet been completed yet, though, then obviously it would be that. But if they want to cancel, they can feel free to cancel. Yeah.
I didn't realize I was muted. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Could we just do what we've been doing so far and just say after, today, anything after? Because that's what we've been doing in the past too, is like our precedent is.
You're right.
saying
I'm a
up
banana.
until X.
Yeah. Ignore me. Ignore me and my banana nature. So anything from the 21st to the time progression, so time progression to the 21st, function as prior. I think from now going forward, function with the new changes. Essentially. Yeah. I'm a banana and forgot that's how we do stuff.
Oh, nerp.
Anyways, I see there's still chats being posted, so I'm waiting to see what they say.
But also, Why are we doing 21st onward? Why not 22nd onward?
I mean, the date doesn't necessarily matter. It's just we haven't had a submission today. I don't think.
It is 22nd onward. It's just the beginning of the current time period to the 21st because, or I guess the 22nd just before we. Yeah. Anyways, 22nd is today. 21st is yesterday. So anything on 21st is still considered prior to this economy collapse. No problem. Enjoy. Yeah. Regardless, though, it should be fine. As stated, we don't think we've had any downtime posted for today, so it should be fine. But they'll be impacted now. Also, shopping. Impact harvesting, mercantilism, and shopping. Anyways, that is the Shoops and the Whoops. Hope everyone has a most enjoyable day. Unless there's anything else, as I see people are now typing once more. You are correct. I need to bring up my laptop. I've been holding off on it because it's on my laptop and I've been at work. I covered 2 shifts this week. And I don't really feel like using the shitty internet to post the VOD. Because that would be like turning a 10-minute upload to an hour-long upload. But I can do it now, since I'm home. They pay me decently, yeah. I believe, after the end of the new hire period, which might be around December, actually, which would be nice, I should be getting a $1 raise. Because I'm currently still, considered, probation period. So I'm on the probation rate, but it's decent pay. Anyways, that's the Shoops and the Whoops. I'm going to close things out here. Appreciate everyone's faces, all you showing up, all that good stuff. Blah, blah, blah.